Morning everybody. Welcome to a video I've been looking forward to making for quite some time now. I'm in York, just approaching the River Ouse and the Scarborough Railway Bridge. Tell you more about that on the way back. I'm gonna turn left and head north and west up the river. But yeah, there's 9 bridges over the River Ouse in York. And being a railway bridge, it's got its railway sign on. Yeah, there are 9 bridges over the Ouse. One's in the very south, the Neighbourne Railway Bridge, that now forms part of the York to Selby cycle path. There are the 2 bridges that form part of the outer ring road. There's the one at the northwest. In the direction that we're heading, it's the bridge that carries the A1237 outer ring road, and then in the south there's the bridge that carries the A64 across the river. That leaves 6 in the city. As I say, we've just left the railway station, and you saw the Scarborough Railway Bridge, which is there. I came to York, in the summer, and then again a few weeks ago. Had a nice day out on both occasions, and it made me realise just how much there is to do and see in York. So I started thinking of a few ideas to come up with for videos, and I realised I'd only ever been over a couple of bridges in the city, the more popular ones. I had a look on the maps, discovered that it was round about a 6-mile walk, so I thought, why not? Unfortunately, it's school holidays, so I'm guessing it's going to be absolutely packed. So I came as early as I could, avoiding the rush hour. Got here for about 9:15, 9:30. I think it's a bit of a hike to the Clifton Bridge, so I'll get back to you when we're a little bit closer to it. I can actually see it in the distance. It's quite a hike, it's a mile or so away. There's football fields here. Looks like it's the morning dog walking club. Not quite sure how we get up to it, whether we can walk along the river. I'll investigate it. There is a path here, so for now I'll keep following this. This is the right way. I just asked somebody if I stay on the riverbank will I reach the Clifton Bridge, and they said of course yes you will. It's like Leeds, people sleeping in tents. I don't know, I ended up further up. There's an actual path here. So yeah, the bridges here, they're a mixture of old and new. There's actually been bridges over the river, or a bridge over the river, since Roman times, various ferries. So that's what we'll be investigating today. As I say, it's Halloween, it's very late October, it's about 12 degrees. Bit breezy, bit cool actually. Brought a few layers with me, so it's going to be putting layers on and taking layers off kind of a day. But yeah, if I get the time, as I said in an earlier video, York, Leeds and Bradford are places I want to explore. There's 1,000 others. But they're the closest to home, so easier to get to. But today we're looking at these bridges and having a decent, about 6 mile walk. There is a cycle path that takes in the 2 outer bridges as well. That's about 10 miles I think. But exploring on foot really is my thing. I was initially going to do it in a series of figure of 8s. So I covered both sides of each bank and all the bridges. I'm not going to commit to that. It might work out that that's how I end up doing it, I don't really know. But I don't know the riverside footpaths that well, so I'll commit to reaching all 6 bridges. Wow, look at the edge of that. That's an old tree. Oh, is it a poplar? Oh yeah, wow. They are old. There's a long line of them here. That must be 100, 200 years old. So yeah, I'm going to commit to visiting all 6 bridges. But yeah, who knew this was within minutes of York city centre. So we're coming up to the Clifton Bridge. Got here quicker than I thought. And this is a very interesting bridge. Apparently, before refer to my notes. Hey, this is getting serious. This YouTubing. I've made notes, but I can't read my own writing. And I need to put my glasses on. Every time I want to read them. Yeah, that's good. I've never seen such old poplars. I think they're poplars, aren't they? Tell me if I'm wrong. I've never seen this old before. They're fabulous. Yeah, so there wasn't a bridge here before 1961 there was a rope ferry crossing, and the Duke and Duchess of Kent, who knew, they got married at York Minster sometime around then, and so the army, they built a temporary pontoon bridge over the river to carry the traffic to the wedding ceremony at York Minster. No expense spared, eh? Anyway, York did alright out of it, because when that was replaced, it was replaced by this structure. Reinforced steel and concrete, opened on the 28th of October 1963. There you go. And if we carry on this way, we come to that bridge carrying the A1237, the outer ring road. So, that's a nice shot of it. We are going over it anyway, and we're going to go to the other side. And this is, as I say, the furthest northwest that we come. We now head south until we reach the pretty new Millennium Footbridge that opened, I think, in 2001. I don't know if I did say, but I'm going to do the A64 and the other outer bridge when I do the drive round the outer ring road of York. There's not really much to see with them. So I think we're in the area of Clifton now, in York. I just said to the bridge, up the steps, I guess over the bridge and down the steps at the other side. Not sure I've ever been across here. I must have been at some point in the car. Anyway, I put a little counter up. I think, like these big YouTubers do. Bridge number 1. Oh, I know where we are. Yes, I have been this way. The York Youth Hostel is there. So if ever you wanted to stay, it's a quick walk into the city centre. This is one of the most difficult things I have to do. When creating photography, writing, video, walking around town centres. I went walking one day with somebody and he said you really shouldn't bother about it because you just look like you're talking on your phone. But I'm so self-conscious, and then every so often you look up and there's somebody staring at you. Anyhow, 5 bridges to go. And the Scarborough Railway Bridge being the first one that we come back to. This is delightful on here. That's where we were a few minutes ago with the big poplars. And just beyond there, well, over there's the railway station, and then a lot of this used to be just railway goods yards. I think a lot of it's now being built on. Don't know what this, I don't know what this wall is. It's river defences, isn't it? Flood defences, I think. A Tansy Beetle Action Group. Himalayan balsam causes problems for the tansy beetle. Tansy looks very much like ragwort, and that's the tansy beetle. That's interesting. I gave myself till about lunchtime for this. I wanted to be done by about 12. But at this rate, it's going to be 3 o'clock before I finish. Although the bridges in the centre do come in pretty quick succession, and then I think it's a bit of a trek to the Millennium Bridge and then back to the railway station. So press on. I just noticed, I think it was yesterday, it's been voted one of the best place to live. I don't know if it was England or the UK. I can see it. I love it. I did want to come and live here about 30 years ago. I couldn't afford it then. I can't afford it now. St Peter's School, private property. Not much like inner city Leeds, where I grew up, I have to say. But it is I imagine, a delightful place to live. More ings, I think the football fields at the other side, what you call ings, where the river is allowed to flood. I think this is the same. It saves the city really from flooding. The Minster in the distance there. I think that's the best thing I like about the place. It's got a great bus service. It's good, best railway connections in the country, I guess, with York Railway Station. You can get anywhere. And you can pretty much walk or cycle around it. There's the Minster, not far away. This is gorgeous though. Isn't it nice? So I started off with 3 layers on because I was freezing. I'm down to 2 now. Oh well, no, I started off with 4 and down to 3. I'd have to stop walking for a bit or take off another layer. Just passing the Railway Museum on the other bank. Just see it through the trees. Train. Probably going to Edinburgh. Yep. More of these poplars. Fantastic, aren't they? Gonna have to take a layer off. Wow. Is that a gaff? Blimey, that's some house, isn't it? That'll be $1 million, I guess, or more. Wow, look at that. Anyway, we're back at the. These are lovely, aren't they? That's something like that with the floodgates. We're back at the Scarborough Railway Bridge, which we haven't yet been over, have we? So let's see, we'll find some steps and go up it. Gives you some idea how high the river floods when you see where the floodgates are. And the river's all the way down there. I think I've gone wrong. Of course I have the footpath part of the bridge. Anyway, floodgate, flood wall, river. That is deep, isn't it? That's where. I see steps. I see steps. So I think the only bit of the bank we won't walk on is this one. As I say, when it first opened in the 1840s, the footpath was down the middle of the tracks, and then they did some work on it, and it was a much narrower footpath that you couldn't get bicycles down, and then they changed that to this, and it's part of the cycle network. So we're kind of back where we started, but we've got a lot further still to go, and you won't see many trains on this line because it's the 1 hour, one every hour to Scarborough Railway Station there. Oh, bridge number 2, I forgot to say. Number 2. Lovely houses there out. They all got their own floodgates, and then just to the right, just there, is the Yorkshire Museum Gardens. So we're approaching bridge number 3, Lendal Bridge, one of the river cruises. Never been on them. The one I'd like to go on, maybe this one, but I'd really like to go on the ones in Newcastle. You could go up the River Tyne, away from the sea. But there's one that goes down the River Tyne as well. So the railway station is just through this park here. Just past where the Flix bus is. I'm walking down a cycle lane, so I have to be careful. So I'm just passing the rowing place, so I'll tell you more about Lendal Bridge when we get to the other side of here. York City Rowing Club. So Lendal Bridge. It's where the city walls pass the yeah. I think I'm just going to have to hang it here and film, and if anybody objects, well, then they object. So we're not doing the walls today, guys. Bridge number 3. Idyllic, isn't it? I wonder if York will ever become a car-free zone. Made free from toll in 1894. Let's get across. I'll tell you about it. So we're at the site of a former rope ferry where the city walls break, as I've said, for the river. There are two medieval towers, Lendal Tower on the east bank and Barker Tower that we've just seen on the west bank. You just see the top of it now over there. It was designed by Thomas Page, who also designed Westminster Bridge in London. It's made of cast iron and has a single span. Of, looking at notes, 175 feet. Bridge opened in 1863, and together with its toll houses is a Grade 2 listed structure, which are here and there. Lovely. She's got a job, hasn't she? Hanging there all day. It's a fantastic bridge, but it's probably the most busiest bridge in the city. And as you can see, trying not to lose notes in river, that's where we're heading next. The Ouse Bridge, and there doesn't seem to be a footpath at this side. So I think we'll go back over and walk down the top, because there's nothing up here except tourists and shops. It's a toll house. Takes life in hands as he tries to cross the road. Sea of people. Tower dating from 1300, originally part of the city's defences, with a defensive chain stretching from here to the tower on the opposite bank. In 1677 it was leased to the predecessors of the York Waterworks for 500 years at an annual rent of one peppercorn. For use as a water tower. During the 18th century it housed a steam pumping engine modified to the design of John Smeaton. I was talking about him the other day. Then a proprietor of the waterworks. It ceased to be used for those purposes in 1850. In 1932 it was refurbished and now houses the company's boardrooms. Blimey. Oh, no good view there of the Barker Tower. That's now a cafe, as are the two tall houses. Anyhow, let's get away from this plumbing. So much for coming early. Quite tempting to just go home now, because I'm actually back at the bus stop. Anyhow, let's press on. A great pub there, it used to be anyway. This is real ale in big jugs. I'm sure this was a good night out. Bridge number 3, it was a bit tortuous, wasn't it? The trouble is, it's where all the bus stops, all the railway station, everybody sort of disgorges, and it's the quickest way. A pub for grown-ups. What does that mean? Means no children, I suppose. Yeah, of course, if I hadn't have wanted to go across the bridge, I could have just come through there. Anyway, onwards. My friends, as a YouTuber who one or two of you might watch, always says, there you go. Bridge number 3.